Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Evan and John, and you're listening to the Boomer and X Show.
Hey, everybody, and thank you for joining us for another Boomer and X Show Sports Short.
What's up? It is September the 27th.
Sure is.
So tonight, we're going to be talking about Les Miles has gone from LSU. Did you know that, John?
I did know that. Guess who told me?
It was me.
It was you.
Breaking news machine right here. We got national champ ain't happening. No, that's the top 10s of NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
NFL Year of the Rookie Quarterback?
Maybe.
Question mark.
Yep.
Most surprising 3-0 NFL team and upcoming NCAA and NFL marquee matchups.
Man, there are some great matchups in college this weekend coming up.
So, and then we've also got our Mad Dash. So, let's hit it right on off the bat.
We're going to jump in. Les Miles is gone. What next? We won't relive how we got here. We won't rehash that. Here we are. It's a long time coming, and with no disrespect to his previous accomplishments of 3 SEC championships in, 2.
Yeah.
07 and 11.
SEC championship.
SEC championship. And one national championship in 07. To the national media that says this shouldn't have happened, all I can say is screw you.
Well, they look at all the other
they look at
teams that
national
have
championship.
Exactly.
National championship.
Yeah.
And sure, great. It's great, but you don't stop and you don't underperform for 4 or 5 or 6 years without consequences. But anyway, we're not going to rehash it. We're going to say, what now? What's next? The current coach, the interim head coach, is Ed Orgeron. He's a Louisiana native. He has strong Louisiana ties, obviously. But Ed Orgeron found himself in a very similar situation a couple of years back when USC fired Lane Kiffin with 8 games left in the season. And Orgeron coached those 8 games, went 6-2, thought he deserved to be the full-time permanent coach. After that, didn't get it, and amscrayed out of L.A. and landed in L.A.
Oh, Louisiana. I was like, what?
So...
Nice one.
He is. Well, we have a list. We have a list out of Las Vegas of the odds. There's some names on this list, coaches. Odds of them becoming the next LSU coach. Evan, I'm going to throw some of these out at you, and I'm going to ask, as an LSU fan, would you like to see this, yes or no?
I'd rather be asking you. Actually, let me start.
Okay.
Lane Kiffin.
Negative.
You have the odds, the Vegas odds, right?
12-1 on Kiffin. He is on this list, and 12-1.
Okay, what about Art Briles?
Here's what bothers me about Art Briles is I don't know how clean or how dirty he was in that whole sex scandal at Baylor.
Now trying to cover it up and all that.
I think he is maintaining that he was really in the dark, but I no.
That being aside, he had some pretty.
He had some, but he had some great, he had explosive offenses. But because of the sex scandal, no, I can't go there. Art Briles is currently listed at 28-1 on this list.
David Shaw.
David Shaw's not on the list I'm looking at. He is the coach of Stanford.
He replaced Jim Harbaugh at Stanford.
He replaced Harbaugh at Stanford. Look, I love the job he's done. I don't see why in the world he would come from Stanford to LSU.
Yeah, me neither.
Stanford is one of the premier, and I'm about to show a bias here, but Stanford is one of the premier
academic.
Yeah, he's one of the premier academic programs in this country.
Got a lot of smart people there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say why would he come? Why would he come to LSU?
Bobby Petrino,
I think he's a sleazeball down to his core.
Okay,
I can't stand anything
Kiffin,
about him. 18, but he's on the list I'm looking at, 18-1. I don't want him.
Dan Mullen.
Mississippi
State.
No. Not interested. When he got to Mississippi State, he came to Mississippi State from Florida. He was an assistant at Florida. His first 2 or 3 years were really, really good, but he's plateaued. I don't see him making the move within the SEC. There's nothing about him that excites me.
Bill O'Brien, Houston Texans.
I can't. Head coach of the Houston Texans. Why? Why would he? I'm gonna say why would he? He's not on the list I'm looking at. Throw me another name.
Mike Gundy.
Mike Gundy, Oklahoma State head coach. You know what? Been there, done that. I like the fact that he runs wide open offenses, but that's where Les Miles came from.
Okay, how about this one? Is this one on your list? Ed O.
Ed O is on the list at 9-1. I want a clean break. I want an outside influence because I will say this: when LSU built its success that it had, Mark Emmert was the chancellor at LSU. He was a non-Louisiana guy. He came in and he hired Nick Saban, a non-Louisiana guy, and that put LSU on the football map. Re-put it on the map after a long time of being away. That's the recipe I want to go with again.
Jimbo Fisher.
3-1 at the odds on the list I'm looking at. I don't know why he would do it. I would be excited, although not thrilled, because he doesn't fit the description of young and hungry.
No, that's for sure.
And that's
but is that what they're looking for? Young and
hungry?
Well,
this is my preference.
Tom Herman.
Now we're cooking.
What's his odds?
He's the favorite on this list at 5-4. This list provided by Bovada, Bovada. 5-4.
He's got the Big 12 knocking at the door.
Well, yeah, he does.
I don't think he's leaving, man.
He's for those that don't know, he's the University of Houston head coach who has absolutely torn it up at the University of Houston. If I could sit down and write down 3 names that I want to come to LSU, he would be all 3 of them right now.
Well, my thing is, even if he wanted to, with having to buy out Miles, does LSU have the wallet space to entice him?
But yeah, I mean they're going to pay whatever they need to pay to get. It's just that I think the window to get this guy was last November.
Year.
Yeah. That's when I think the window was to get this guy. But I don't know. We'll see. He's at the top of this list. He's at the top of my list.
What did you say his odds?
5-4.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Larry Fedora is the head coach at the University of North Carolina. He's listed at 4-1 on here. I brought him up last year. I brought his name up last year. And I said I liked what he did at Southern Mississippi, and then he went on to North Carolina. I liked what he was doing there. I haven't really looked and seen what they're doing last year, but he's at 4-1 on this list.
And I didn't hear that name a lot last year.
Right.
I didn't. You were the only one I heard saying that.
And so he's there on this list. Yeah, we're moving on now.
Preseason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So now we're moving on, and we are hitting top 10 preseason, and who obviously had national championships aspirations. And
LSU
guess what?
number 5.
And guess what? It ain't happening.
Nope. LSU number 5. Oklahoma, what are they?
We'll start out with Oklahoma was number 3 in the AP preseason top 25. They have 2 losses. They will not be winning the national championship. Those 2 losses, first weekend to the University of Houston. And let's see, who else? Who else beat them? Oh, Ohio State beat them by 3 touchdowns at their place. So Oklahoma, it's not happening. Here's one that's only got 1 loss. Number 4, preseason number 4, Florida State. They only have 1 loss, but man, it was ugly. They gave up 63 points at Louisville. Evan, I'll ask you, does a team that gives up 63 points in a game and lose by 40 or 45, whatever it was, can they recover from that? And if they win out, can they win a national championship?
No, I don't think so. Now, I'm not saying the team can't. I'm going to say that the committee isn't going to let them go to the championship. They gave up. They
did give up.
And I think as a committee, they'll look at that and be like, we don't want a team that's going to get down by 2 touchdowns and give up.
Here's what I will say. They have a chance with let's say they win out going forward,
okay,
which would include a win over Clemson. And then, of course, there would be an ACC championship game. As ugly as that was, it was early enough in the year, and because they will have a chance to win out, I say if they win out from here, they're in the mix for the top 4. I'm not saying that, won't say they'll make it, but I'll say they're in the conversation for the top 4. Another one, number 5 LSU. Well, they're 2-2, and their coach is fired. I'm assuming there's no national championship in the picture for them this year.
No, not even an SEC championship.
No, not even SEC West championship. No.
Yeah.
Notre Dame,
Yeah.
1-3.
Ugh.
They were preseason number 10.
Yeah.
Guess what?
They ain't on the list.
Ain't happening.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss preseason number 11. 2 horrible, ugly losses where they got up big
Yes.
and then lost. One of those was to Alabama. One of those was to Florida State. Now that's quality. I mean, those are quality teams, certainly. But 2 losses, I don't know. They came back and they just absolutely hammered Georgia last week. And I mean, that's impressive. But I think they're probably out of the national championship picture. That's my guess. Some teams that may be in the picture that weren't. Houston, preseason number 15.
They weren't in the top 10?
No, they were number 15. And if they win out, they may be. They're not one of the Power 5.
Mm-hmm.
At least not right now. They may become part of the Big 12 later, but not right now. I would say that they could be a surprise entry. Other teams that were up there that are still up there, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan, Stanford, they're all still in the running, certainly. That's just a look at some teams that were thinking about it, and it ain't happening.
So, NFL, year of the rookie quarterback. This is a question you asked me earlier, and I think it's a good topic for a podcast. So, we have 15 quarterbacks drafted, 11 made
Squads.
Mm-hmm. 4 started last week.
Right.
All right, I put Simeon and Goff up there.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't start. Goff was the
Goff is the Rams.
number 1 overall.
Right, overall number 1
And I
pick
think
for
they're
the
doing
Rams.
smart sitting him, but at some point he's going to need to get some.
I think so. Although the Rams actually showed some offense this past week, so we'll see. But yeah, they're sitting him. He hasn't played yet. I feel certain he'll see action before the year's out.
Yeah.
But so far, nothing.
And Trevor Simeon, he is
Second-year guy.
Yeah. Second-year guy. Didn't play any last year.
Did he even take a snap last year?
See, that's why I'm putting him in this rookie category because I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either.
I mean, because it was either Manning or
Osweiler. So we're gonna say he's not a rookie, but we're putting him in this conversation.
Honorary rookie.
Yeah.
Redshirt freshman rookie. Of
There you go. Redshirt freshman rookie. Hey, look, what they have done has been impressive. What he has done has been impressive. And
I said it when we talked about him first. Sorry to interrupt, but the poise that he has facing huge linemen trying to run him over. It's like he's just, I don't know, trying to solve a Sudoku puzzle. He's just flat-faced, and that's what you need in the NFL when you need to be poised like that.
I certainly won't begin to say I told you so. But I will say this. When I was doing my drafts for fantasy and I saw Demaryius Thomas slip, I said to myself, there's no way that a John Elway-led team, he's the GM.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
There's no way that this team is going to have horrible quarterback play. So even though Manning was gone and Elway let Osweiler get away to the Houston Texans, I felt comfortable that there was going to be adequate quarterback play at Denver this year. Guess what? It's adequate and then some.
All right, so talking about the true rookies, we have Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Jacoby is his first name?
Yeah.
And Cody Kessler.
Let's kick Brissett out real quick. He played a game and a piece of a game, and now he's hurt.
Yeah, he is.
And this is New England quarterback, by the way. He was the 3rd quarterback New England used this year. He's not playing it. Do we think he's not playing this coming Sunday?
I don't know. Is
it
Garoppolo back? Or?
No. The receiver.
Is it really going to be Julian Edelman?
That's what I heard. But
no.
But even if it is Brissett,
it doesn't matter. They're 3-0.
No. I'm not just saying for the impact, for the rookie impact. Brady's coming back.
Yeah.
And unless he gets hurt again, Brissett will have had his day in the sun, his 15 minutes of fame for this year. So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do is kind of point to who's going to be there really still getting it done at the end of the year as far as a rookie quarterback.
Oh, I got the answer for that.
Well, we're Kessler in Cleveland. He's
not the guy.
not the guy. So that gets
Now,
us
I will
to-
say this. He's 0-1,
Mhm.
but his kicker missed 3 field goals.
You know what I say?
Shouldn't
Rely on the kicker.
All right, he would have won without the kicker, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He should have.
He had a chance to score
He
touchdowns.
did.
Yeah.
He did.
So we've got Dak Prescott and Carson
Wentz.
2 true rookies, not redshirt.
Hmm.
And both of them in the NFC East. One of them playing with the Cowboys, one of them playing with the Eagles. Both have been very impressive. Prescott is doing something with the Cowboys that they weren't able to do last year, and that's win with Romo on the bench.
Exactly.
And so that's very impressive. They're 2-1, and Wentz has the Eagles at 3-0.
That dude right there.
And that's your guy?
That's my guy.
That's your
man.
rookie of the year.
That's my guy. Even not taking Trevor Siemian out because he's
Right.
a redshirt rookie freshman or whatever.
Right. So
but Wentz is my guy.
Wentz is
for
your guy,
sure.
rookie of the year. Tell you what, he made my Steelers look like crap on Sunday. That was horrible. That was dreadful. In fact, I was about ready to turn the game off and go take my friend out for
CBS
dinner.
Did it for you?
And CBS did it for me. They switched games, and she said, "Well, what happened?" I said, "The Steelers were playing so bad they switched." She said, "They can do that." I said, "Yeah, they'll do that."
I was sitting there and I'm on my phone and I look up and I'm watching. I don't even know who. I'm watching a different team play and I look over at the remote and I was like, "Did I change the channel?" Like, nope. It was so bad.
It
They
was
changed it
so
for me.
bad.
What was the score?
34-3.
That's right, 3.
All right, moving on now to, and we're kind of along the same line here, most surprising 3-0 teams, and here are the current NFL 3-0 teams. Here they are: New England, Denver, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and Minnesota. Just on name alone, and I'm not talking about the conditions under which this is happening. Baltimore.
Me
Baltimore being at 3-0 is the most surprising team just on name alone. But Minnesota lost their starting quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, and probably one of the top 2 or 3 running backs in the league, in Adrian Peterson. They're 3-0. That's a shocker.
That is a shocker.
Philadelphia, 3-0, rookie quarterback. That's
Nah,
a shocker.
That's not a shocker.
That's not a shocker to
No.
you?
Seeing what he did in North Dakota and seeing what he's doing right now. Week 1, he played
What does this,
Chicago.
What does this say about Chip Kelly, who's out in San Francisco now? Now that he's gone, Philadelphia's 3-0.
I don't know, man. This quarterback,
So I'm all
Carson Wentz.
You're an honorary member of Pennsylvania.
There
You
we go.
now live in Pennsylvania. Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah.
Okay. All right. New England is 3-0. Jesus Christ. I mean, I think everybody.
What's new?
I think everybody except Joe Biden has played quarterback for New England this year, and they're 3-0. And the whole thing was just get to 2-2 without Brady, and you'll be fine. Well, here they are, 3-0, and they'll probably beat the Bills on Sunday.
Yeah,
they're at
they're
home
at
against
home.
the Bills. Denver, are you that surprised?
Yes,
I'm not.
I am.
Now, although I did say that Cincinnati would beat them last week,
Mm-hmm.
last week was my week to be wrong about everything. In fact, I think probably somewhere on the podcast I might have said Sunday comes before Saturday. That's how wrong I was about everything last week.
If someone bet against you last week against everything, they'd be a millionaire.
They would be. If they would have parlayed every pick I made in the other direction, they would, yeah. But so Denver doesn't surprise me. They're 3-0 because of that great defense. And because, again, I have faith in John Elway as a GM, even though I did think that they would lose to Cincinnati in Cincinnati last week. They didn't. But I'm going to go with Baltimore.
As your most surprising?
As my most surprising, again, just as far as the teams and not the situation. I think if it's situation-specific, Minnesota being down number 1 running back, starting quarterback, and being 3-0, to me that's impressive.
I'm still going to go with Denver Broncos as my most surprising. You know, you're losing Peyton Manning. He's the end of the Denver Broncos, offense in my mind is what I'm.
In your mind was the only place he was the Denver offense.
So now they've got Trevor Siemian or
Yeah.
whoever was at quarterback, and them starting 3-0.
Yeah.
I would have never thought that happened. Philly, maybe. If you told me New England, I would have been like, yeah, well, it's NFL football. Duh.
It's Belichick.
Yeah, it's Belichick.
Yeah.
Minnesota, Baltimore, they're kind of on the, maybe they could, maybe they couldn't. But Denver, I would have said no. They're not 3-0 in it. So that was very surprising to me. Moving on.
Yeah, let's move on and talk about some upcoming NFL and college matchups. There are 3 terrific, and I mean terrific matchups in college football, starting Friday night with Stanford at Washington. I will be at work. My DVR box will be running. I will record this game for Pac-12 North supremacy, at least as of the end of September. I love this game, Stanford at Washington. Is Washington for real? They're 3-0. A lot of expectations this year. Chris Peterson, this is his 3rd or 4th year. He came there from Boise State.
I'll answer that question Saturday morning after that game.
But, Stanford hasn't been dominant. They haven't been dominant. But I'm going to say Stanford gets a road win here. I like both schools. I like both programs. I will just enjoy watching the game, and I really won't have that much of a rooting interest. But, that's a heck of a matchup.
They're both undefeated.
Well, yeah. They're both top 10. That's a heck of a matchup there. Michigan is hosting Wisconsin. Wisconsin coming off a huge blowout victory.
Both 4-0.
Of Michigan State last week, which I said Michigan State would win that game because Wisconsin, I saw their ranking as being a function of beating LSU, which didn't impress me. Well, now, they just tore Michigan State up last week. This is the first big test, really, for my boy Harbaugh. I'm going to go with Michigan, but...
Yeah, I say he passes this test.
You say he does?
Yeah.
A game I will be tied to my TV set watching.
So, as you called it, the September Heisman Bowl.
The September Heisman Bowl, Louisville at Clemson.
Both 4-0.
Both 4-0.
You know what? I'm going to say this one's a coin toss.
Louisville has been more impressive.
With Louisville in the heavy side of the coin.
Yeah. Louisville's been more impressive. I'm pulling for Clemson on this one. This is the one I'm pulling for Michigan in the other one too. But I'm pulling for Clemson in this one just because I don't like Petrino. I don't.
Every time you say that, he wins.
Oh, yeah, well, I still don't like him. But what about you? So you think Louisville wins this
Louisville
one?
Wins it. Like I said, it's a coin toss. It's gonna be close. I would love to be there and watch the game because it's gonna be a good one.
Now LSU is playing Missouri at home. That game will be on at the same time that the Louisville Clemson game will be on. I'll be going back and forth between the two. But as far as LSU is concerned this week, I guarantee the Tigers win. I guarantee the Tigers win.
Oh, yeah. I think they're going to have a...
Well, Missouri is also the Tigers.
Oh. Well, never mind. Moving on to NFL. It's about to make an analytical answer.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. What do you think? You think they're fired up?
I think, new coach, new offensive coordinator. I think they want to prove Les Miles was the problem, and you can't do that if you lose.
Well, you certainly can't do that if you lose. My impression of the players was that they really loved Les Miles.
Well, they say he was a player's coach, and they carried him off of the field last year.
I won't even make a prediction as to how the team plays.
I say the Tigers win.
I've heard that one.
Yeah.
I hope they play well. I hope they play hard. I hope they win. But we'll see.
Moving over to the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs at the
Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a Sunday night game.
Prime time, 2-1 teams.
Kansas City tore the Jets up at home last week. They intercepted Fitzpatrick 6 times.
Was it Fitzpatrick every time?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you played the whole game or not.
Yeah, they intercepted him 6 times. In fantasy, they scored a gazillion points for me. I've got them in both leagues, and that was nice. But I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. I can't believe Pittsburgh better refocus after that egg they laid last Sunday.
They're gonna.
And so I think they'll win.
They gonna. Now, they do have Jamal Charles is still out. Kansas City, this is. And Eli Rogers is out still for Pittsburgh, right?
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but Wheaton's back.
Oh, that's right.
Although he didn't look all that good the other day, but nobody in a Steelers uniform looked all that good the other day.
Whoop, time's up.
Real quick.
Yeah, I got a real quick one.
Yeah,
You go.
Giants at Minnesota, the Monday night game. Giants are struggling, and Minnesota's 3-0. I think the Giants may continue to struggle.
Here's my favorite one that probably no one wants to watch.
Okay.
Colts at the defeated Jags.
Yeah, they're defeated times 3. They're 0-3.
0-3, and the 1-2 Colts.
Yeah.
So they're going to Jacksonville. You
Yeah.
think this is the biggest surprise for me this year? 0-3 Jacksonville.
Really? Yeah. I mean, there were some expectations there.
Yeah.
They're giving up points in droves.
Yeah. I mean, Bortles. You've got the two Robinsons.
Right.
I mean, they have all the scoring potential in the world, but I don't know. I haven't watched in depth any of their games.
I haven't either.
Looking at
seen the scores.
0-3, I would assume defense.
Yeah, because they've given up points by the bucket
Bortles has
load.
5 touchdowns. I mean, that's right up there with Roethlisberger. I mean,
5 in 3 games isn't that good?
well,
It's not.
Roethlisberger has 6.
Well,
Yeah.
he had 6 in 2 games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah, right. So yeah.
So I'm comparing him to the wrong quarterback. Okay, Newton has 5 touchdowns.
Well, they're 1-2.
Well, comparisons are very good here. Then
But yeah, I mean that's an ugly game. That's an ugly matchup.
I told you so.
Mad dash time. What did you tell me, and what did you not see coming?
I told you so that Carson Wentz was good. No,
Yes, you did.
I done said his name 8 times in this thing, but
I
that
think
was
you,
my
I
told you
think
so.
you have a picture of him up in your bedroom.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Okay, I knew it. What else? What did you not see coming?
This is kind of I told you so, but also didn't see it coming. Me and you both said New England would win. Don't bet against them at home. We did not see them
Shutting out
Houston.
Mm-mm. Thought it'd be competitive. All right, I've got an I told you so, and I didn't see it coming.
Okay.
My prognostications with regards to everything last weekend were so bad. The only way I can go to I told you so is I went 2-0 in fantasy this week. I had to be right about something. So that's my I told you so. That's how deep I have to go to find I told you so.
Man, that's pretty bad.
It is. But
hey, 2-0
I've got
in fantasy
that. 2-0 is fantasy is 2-0 in fantasy. And what I didn't see coming was how horrible the Eagles made the Steelers look.
I saw Pittsburgh dominated up there. I was like, no, they didn't.
They were.
They were.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh got dominated. That's for sure.
Listener question: is this Bill Belichick's best coaching job ever so far? 3 games in, with quarterbacks all over the place.
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
I mean,
look, it's great to go 3-0 with 3 different quarterbacks. It is, but Bill Belichick is. I mean, he's.
I say that's the quarterback coach getting it done.
If you're going to credit a program, you got to go head coach.
Okay, head coach it is. Good job, Bill. 3-0. Good job.
Now, is he the best coach ever? NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that take anything away from Tom Brady?
No.
No?
I'm going to say no.
No?
He cheats too much. I can't pull for a cheater.
I've got a problem with somebody that I really, really like, and he's starting to make me feel a little embarrassed for him.
He was balling.
He was balling.
Tears.
Throwing fits. Odell Beckham Jr.
I will say this: he had his best game for the season so far.
But you know what? 3 games in, he still hadn't found the end zone.
That's true.
He has not found the end zone. But I tell you what, he's starting to find he's starting to get the camera on him more for away from the ball stuff than catching the ball.
Well, look,
and that's not good.
He's an emotional player.
He is.
But he's also that team's best player. Counting Eli Manning, he's that team's best player, and he's therefore a leader. And guys are looking at him.
Yeah.
And did you see when he started acting the way he did, what was going out on the field? Other guys doing cheap shots, and he's an emotional leader.
He is.
So he needs to be able to keep it together.
He does.
And
he needs to keep it together. And I'll tell you something. Look, I get crying. I get crying at a game. But here's the game. It better be. It better be the Super Bowl. You better lose it on the last play, or it better be the game that if you just won 5 in a row and you get knocked out of the playoffs, or you get knocked out of a chance to go to the playoffs, if you're going to cry.
Have a reason?
No, if you're going to cry at the result of an NFL game, it better happen in the month of December or January.
Not
September.
He was that upset. Eli
Yeah,
Manning
he was
wasn't throwing the ball at him.
then he needs to get a hold of himself. It's not about him; it's about the team. And I'm really getting irritated with his behavior. And I don't want to say that because he's an LSU kid. I want to pull for him, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing. He's starting to act like Des Bryant to me. I don't want to see it.
All right, so yeah, this was on the board when I got here. NFL on Twitter. So Twitter's now streaming NFL games. Is it just Thursday night games?
I think it's just the Thursday night games. Yeah.
So I looked at reviews on what Twitter people are saying. The tweeters, the twits,
yeah, the twits.
They love it. They're saying ESPN needs to take note. Facebook needs to take note that it's streaming flawlessly. A lot of people like it. I didn't even know it was going on. Pretty cool. I mean that you're not paying $200 a week for NFL Network or whatever. You can watch the game. Really cool. I like it. So if y'all did not know, the NFL is streaming games on
there you go,
the Twitter sphere.
And we close out on a couple of sad notes. Florida Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez, who at the age of 15 escaped from his native Cuba to come to the United States. Defected.
Is it escape?
Well, it's both.
Yeah, I guess the same thing.
Yeah, you defect and you escape. I don't know if he did it by raft or swimming or whatever, but he got out of there.
Swim
Cuba?
No,
you can't.
Oh, okay.
He got no. He got out of there at the age of 15 though. So, and he was killed over the weekend in a boating accident. From everything I've read, and look, I'm guilty of not following baseball all that closely, but he was the Marlins ace pitcher and apparently a terrific guy. And so a big loss to
Jose Fernandez.
Yeah, a big loss to the Florida Marlins and to Major League Baseball in general. And also, golf legend Arnold Palmer passed away. 87 years old, and he was the man that really brought golf to the masses.
I obviously didn't grow up watching him play, but every golf event that is on TV, they show him and Jack Nicklaus going at it.
Yeah,
still, and so I know who he is through that, and I know Nicklaus was the greatest.
Nicklaus was the bear, and he won more.
Yes,
just in pure wins, he won more. Palmer was the king, and
the people's champion.
The people's champion.
He definitely the favorite.
He didn't like the name the king, but he was the guy.
Oh, he was called the king.
He was called the king. He didn't like it, but it stuck.
Yeah,
and everybody called him Mr. Palmer out of respect, not because he wanted to be called that. But he signed the autographs happily, made everyone legible, and he was the first athlete to really market himself.
You know, he was out earning guys last year.
Didn't he make $40 million last year?
I didn't see that number. I know I just saw he's out earning guys that are still
playing
out there stroking it.
Right.
And and he's just doing commercials and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, I don't even know if he was doing commercials.
So R.I.P. Jose Fernandez and Arnold Palmer. Sad notes.
If you were musicians, we'd play some of your music right now.
We would.
That will do it for the end of this episode. TheBoomerandXShow.com. That's our website. You can email us at TheBoomerandXShow@yahoo.com. At BoomerandXShow, that's our Twitter handle. We're on YouTube. They're not videos, but they're just audio files of our episodes. And then, last but not least, iHeartRadio. That's real easy to get on there. And especially YouTube and iHeart, you don't have to. A lot of people don't have iTunes. If you don't have iTunes, now you have a way of getting it. YouTube and iHeartRadio, just go in there and search The Boomer and X Show. That about wraps it up for me, John. What about you? I'm all out of words.
I was all out of words about 35 seconds ago.
All right, thanks, y'all. Y'all take care.